For more than 2 decades, one question has haunted Brazilian football like an unfinished prophecy. When will the Seleção lift the Golden World Cup trophy again? The last time Brazil stood on the summit of world football was back in 2002, when legends carried the nation to glory and wrote history in gold. Since then, the dream of a 6th World Cup title has remained painfully out of reach. Tournament after tournament, hope has risen only to collapse, with Brazil repeatedly stumbling at the quarterfinal stage, unable to cross the final barriers. Now, as the road to the next World Cup begins, a familiar giant is dreaming again, but this time under a very different kind of leadership. With Carlo Ancelotti stepping into the role of head coach, Brazil's 5-time world champions believe a new era is possible, one built not on reputation, but on discipline, performance, and ruthless standards. Ancelotti has already made his philosophy crystal clear. Only players who are performing consistently at club level will be considered for World Cup selection, and when it comes to fitness, there will be zero tolerance. In his Brazil, star power alone will not earn a place. Performance will. Big names mean nothing without results, and history offers no protection. This iron-willed approach has sent shockwaves through Brazilian football, but it has also reignited belief that Brazil might finally rediscover its competitive edge. Amid this hardline stance, however, one story refuses to fade quietly into the background, because Neymar, Brazil's all-time leading goal scorer, is not ready to let his World Cup dream die. Despite the obstacles stacked against him, the 33-year-old superstar has reportedly sent a deeply emotional message directly to Ancelotti, laying bare his desire to give everything for the national team once more. In that message, Neymar expressed his willingness to sacrifice, to push himself beyond limits, and to dedicate his body and mind to taking Brazil back to the World Cup summit. More than that, he dared to dream aloud, telling the coach that if Brazil were to reach the final, he wanted to be the one to score and deliver the trophy to his country. It was not the message of a fading celebrity clinging to past glory, but the plea of a player who believes he still has one final chapter left to write. Yet, for all the emotion and ambition, Neymar's path back into the Brazil squad remains brutally difficult. His absence from a national team stretches back to October 2023, when he suffered a devastating ACL injury against Uruguay, an injury that sidelined him for a long and painful period. Since then, doubts have grown, not only about his fitness, but about whether his body can still survive the demands of elite international football. Neymar made his long-awaited return to the pitch on November 9th in a match against Flamengo, but the comeback was far from smooth. Struggling to meet expectations, he found himself at the center of intense criticism, with fans and pundits questioning whether the magic had faded. The backlash took a visible toll on his mental health, adding psychological pressure to an already difficult physical recovery. Despite carrying injury concerns, Neymar continued playing toward the end of the league season, showing determination even when his body was not at full strength. In a crucial stretch, he helped Santos escape relegation, a reminder that even in compromised condition, his presence could still make a difference. However, the physical cost was severe. Neymar is now set to undergo orthopedic surgery on a torn meniscus in his left knee, a procedure that will be performed by Brazil national team Dr. Rodrigo Lasmar. He has already been admitted to a hospital in Belo Horizonte, where preparations for the operation are underway. The surgery will rule him out for at least a month, forcing him to miss the opening stages of the Paulista Championship, which begins on January 11th. It is another setback in a career increasingly shaped by injury battles rather than pure footballing moments. And yet, even now, Neymar refuses to surrender. Those close to him insist that his focus remains firmly fixed on recovery, with the goal of returning stronger, fitter, and ready to meet Ancelotti's unforgiving standards. He knows that sympathy will not earn him a place, and that only performances can reopen the door to the national team. Complicating matters further is the uncertainty surrounding his club future, with his contract at Santos set to expire on December 31st. Despite limited appearances this year, Neymar has managed to score 11 goals in 28 matches, numbers that hint at his enduring quality, but also underline how much time he has spent away from the pitch. For Ancelotti, the dilemma is clear. Does Brazil gamble on a legend fighting against time and injuries, or does it move forward without its most iconic name of the modern era? For Neymar, the equation is even harsher. This may be his final chance to convince a no-nonsense coach that he still belongs on the world's biggest stage. As Brazil prepares for a new World Cup cycle under strict leadership, the story unfolding is no longer just about tactics or squad selection, but about redemption, belief, and whether one of football's brightest stars can defy fate one last time. The coming months will decide everything, not only for Neymar's international future, but for Brazil's long-awaited quest to turn dreams of a sixth World Cup into reality.